Hey guys, AJ here, back with another one. So today we're gonna jump back into pop culture, and guys, we're gonna talk about the Arrowverse. And for those of you who don't know what the Arrowverse is, the Arrowverse was all those shows that were on the CW, right? So you had Arrow, you had the Flash, you had Supergirl, all those, right? A few others. And it started out good, but then it just turned into trash. And this article here is showing that the Arrowverse creator says that he feels like he wasted his time. So before we jump into this, guys, please remember to like, subscribe, drop a comment. It really helps to keep this channel going. So, guys, when the Arrowverse started, it started out with Arrow, and like the first two seasons of that show were great, man. It was dark, it was mean, it was brooding. The Arrow guy, he was kicking butt, taking names. It wasn't woke. There was no like women beating him up and stuff. And then over time, once again, it just turned to trash. And then they had the Flash. And the Flash was actually good for, I want to say, about 4 seasons. And then all of a sudden, once again, the get woke, go broke, right? All of a sudden, all the characters were alphabet, and then it was just crazy. And the Flash, he was getting beat up, and the first like 3 seasons, it was just him by himself. And then he had this whole team of diverse people that were like forced diversity to win. It was ridiculous. And me, as a black person, it didn't make me feel any better at all when they forced this ridiculousness on this show. Now, Supergirl was just trash from the jump, right? Like, I couldn't even sit through an episode of it. And then it all ended up with Batwoman. And Batwoman has to be the worst piece of trash show that I've ever seen in my entire life, right? And I'm going to make a whole video about Batwoman and how it's made basically the embodiment of everything wrong with modern media, right? And the fact that it got 2 seasons really, really, really did show that they were trying to get brownie points from these woke groups, right? So, here we go. So with the Arrowverse coming to a close, the creator behind it all has revealed that in some respects, his time behind the wheel felt like a waste of time. The Arrowverse was once a thriving, interconnected, on-screen universe with the story threads interweaving between shows like Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, and Batwoman. Legends of Tomorrow, it was okay, but it got pretty woke there for a while too. So the signs were there long before it was official. Supergirl ended up with its 6th season. It ended early. It was followed by the cancellation of 2 other long-running DC comic shows. And they also had the show Naomi that was woke. Anyways, it turns out that after roughly a decade of having worked on this massive addition to DC Comics, the hard work was not bearing any fruit. I wonder why, guys. I wonder why. You tune in to see superheroes doing superhero stuff. And it's like, I think it was Supergirl where my one friend said that it started out good, and then everything after that was like, oh, they're like hating on trans people. It's like, you really think that if there was a universe or a planet Earth where there was aliens and stuff, that any type of ism or istaphobe would actually exist when there's aliens out there trying to take over the planet? I mean, come on. So, okay, in a new blog post on his personal site, Arrowverse creator Mark Guggenheim got candid about how he can't help but feel he wasted his time working on the CW's mini superhero shows. So for those not familiar with his work, the writer and producer co-created Steve Arnero's Arrow, where he acted as showrunner and writer for a handful of seasons. On top of that, he wrote for Vixen, Legends Tomorrow, and Supergirl. So the piece starts out with Guggenheim sharing how back then, when the CW's big crossover event, Crisis on Infinite Earth, was being made, a friend of his claimed that his phone was quote-unquote ringing off the hook. Despite expectations, as he puts it, Guggenheim's phone did not in fact ring. The producer opened up, noting that the 5-hour 6-show television event was a labor in every respect. So he said years before Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, they had their own, you know, multiverse type thing, right? And he then clarified his intentions with the words, with these words, isn't to belittle Crisis in the slightest. He feels deeply grateful for the response from fans. But putting it bluntly, he declared that on a career level, he really wasted his time. And I think that this happens, guys, when you build up one thing, but DC and Warner Brothers made the forced diversity the main point of all the shows, so that they did like another crossover event thing, and it wasn't even about the crossovers. It was about social justice, and no one watched it. So of course he's being the look at that. It's certainly easy to understand why Mark Guggenheim feels this way. After 10 years of grueling hard work, he feels like it's gotten him nowhere. So yeah, guys, his career's kind of stuck now because everything that he made went to trash. It went in the toilet, and a lot of it is this forced. Everything's got to be about either alphabet or about the BLM and all this stuff. It's like, I just want to see some superheroes, So, all right, you guys, let me know what you think. Do you think that this guy's gonna get another job? Because I don't think so. They say Barry Allen's gonna take on the Red Death. But the Red Death is the woman from Batwoman. I mean, the Red Death in the comics is supposed to be Bruce Wayne. And no one liked the Batwoman show. And they put this Batwoman woman as the Red Death. And you wonder why he's not going to get anywhere. So, all right, you guys. I mean, that's all we can say for now is you get woketh and thou go broketh. It says it in the good book, right? All right, you guys. This is AJ. I'm out of here.